There was a pastor whose name was known by many as Pastor Oluwaseun. He was a man of great influence and power, with a booming church that drew hundreds of congregants every Sunday. His religious discourse were filled with fire, passion, and promises of miracles. People called him the man of God because he could heal the sick, deliver the oppressed, and even predict future events. However, beneath the surface of his spiritual achievements lay a dark and sinister truth. For years, rumors swirled around Pastor Oluwaseun. His miraculous abilities seemed to be too perfect, too easy, too supernatural to be true. His charismatic nature and entice of his promises kept people coming back, and no one never questioning the source of his power. But behind closed doors, in the quiet of his large mansion that sat at the edge of the city, something far more unsettling was happening. Something that no one could have imagined. Every Sunday, after the congregation had gone home and the church was empty, Pastor Oluwaseun would retreat to his home. There, beneath the ground of his big estate, there was a swimming pool. But this was no ordinary pool. The neighbors around his neighborhood had never paid it much mind. They were thinking it was just another structure inside the pastor's apartment. But those who were brave enough to sneak close on quiet nights swore that they had heard strange sounds coming from it, like whispers and splashing of water sounds, at late hours. They also noticed that the pool seemed to have a strange energy, as though it were alive. And it was. Underneath the shiny surface of the swimming pool, there lay a dark secret, a large, mysterious python. The serpent, which had been mysteriously appearing every Sunday night, it wasn't an ordinary snake. It was huge, with scales that glowed faintly in the moonlight, and it had a presence that looked scaring and mysterious. The snake was said to swim through the water in midnight, rising up from beneath the surface, its eyes glowing with a strange, supernatural light. Pastor Oluwaseun was not afraid of the serpent. In fact, he had formed an unholy bond with it. He believed the python was a spirit, a powerful entity that could grant him supernatural powers that would elevate him beyond any mortal man. He had summoned the serpent years before, making a pact with dark forces to gain control over it. Every Sunday night, after church, he would strip off his clothes and enter the pool, where he would kneel before the snake and worship it. In those moments, it was said that the pastor would utter incantations from his mouth, offering sacrifices to the serpent, calling on its power to strengthen his hold over his congregation. His followers were unaware of his nightly rituals, believing him to be a devoted servant of God. But secrets, no matter how well kept, have a way of coming to light. There was a young girl named Temidayo. She was only 15 years old. She was the one who first uncovered the truth. Temidayo was a member of Pastor Oluwaseun's congregation. Though she was young, she had a keen sense of curiosity, and she had always felt a strange misery around the pastor. She noticed how some people in the church seemed to be afraid of him, how the air around him felt heavy with an unnatural presence. One Sunday evening, after the service, she overheard some older members of the church whispering about strange things happening at the pastor's home. They spoke of the serpent, and his weird behavior, and of the odd, otherworldly atmosphere that surrounded him. Temidayo was a girl who hardly ignored her instincts. So she decided to investigate. That night, under the cover of darkness, she sneaked to the pastor's mansion. She hid behind a bush near the pool, holding her breath, watching and waiting. What she saw was beyond her imagination. She was shocked and her entire body was trembling in fear. She saw Pastor Oluwaseun entering the pool area. His eyes were looking wild and consumed with emotions. He stripped down his clothes and he knelt beside the water, whispering and summoning the serpent with an incantation tone, unknown to human. Temidayo couldn't understand anything he was saying. And then, the serpent appeared. It rose from the depths of the pool, its massive coils gliding silently through the water. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural light as the pastor bowed before it, offering and feeding the creature with human blood to strengthen his power. Temidayo watched in horror, her heart pounding fast in her chest. She had uncovered the truth. Her pastor was not a man of God, but a demonic servant of darkness, seeking power through demonic rituals. With trembling hands, Temidayo quickly ran back to her house and, with urgency in her voice, she quickly told her parents everything she had witnessed. Her parents were shocked and short of words, but they believed her. They immediately contacted other members of the church, and some group of brave individuals decided to confront the pastor. The next Sunday, when the congregation gathered in the church for the service, Temidayo stood up, her voice trembling but strong. She told the entire congregation what she had seen, the truth about the serpent that's hidden in the mansion of Pastor Oluwaseun, which he do perform dark rituals, and the pastor had made demonic unholy evil pact. Pastor Oluwaseun, you are not a man of God. You worship the devil, and I have seen it with my own eyes, she shouted, pointing at him with trembling fingers. You worship a snake, and you make sacrifices. You have lied to us all. The church broke out into chaos. Some people gasped in disbelief, others looked at Temidayo with confusion, but a few knew, deep down, that something was wrong. Pastor Oluwaseun's face turned red with fury as he tried to control the situation, but the damage had been done. At first, the congregation were in disbelief, but Temidayo courageously stood still and she was speaking in boldness, and the people have a rethought of what Temidayo was saying. More people stood up, recalling the strange happenings they had witnessed themselves. Some even confessed of feeling an oppressive force whenever they entered the church. It wasn't long before word spread, and the truth about Pastor Oluwaseun's evil deeds and supernatural sources of power was exposed. The authorities were contacted, and investigation began swiftly. When they arrived at the pastor's mansion, they found the swimming pool exactly as Temidayo had described. There were strange markings, blood stains, and, most fearful of all, the massive python was still in the water, its eyes glowing evil. The pastor was arrested, his evil dark deeds and rituals was exposed and revealed to the city. Pastor Oluwaseun's downfall was swift and unforgiving. His church was abandoned by most of its members, who could not believe the betrayal. Some left the church and believed altogether. They were disappointed by the horrors that had been hidden under the false display of religion. Temidayo, the brave girl who had exposed the truth, became a symbol of courage and integrity. She was celebrated in the city for her bravery and for her unwavering pursuit of justice. After all, Temidayo, she never sought fame or recognition for her actions. She simply did what she knew was right, exposing a life for the truth, and in doing so, she freed her city from the grips of darkness. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, kindly drop your opinion and suggestions in the comment section of what you think about of other churches in your area. And kindly like and subscribe to my channel to get notified for latest video.